All right, Mr. Gheorghiu. So
Here we have the revenge.
we have the revenge of Bobby Fischer. So the third encounter with you.
Yeah, it was our third game.
All right. So,
But here again we have the whole story. I mean, very interesting story.
yes. Which?
Yeah.
Okay.
First of all, in this photo we have Bobby, myself playing.
Yes.
And the person who is looking is the Grandmaster Pilnik from Argentina, who is standing, looks at the game. Yeah. Okay. So
you said also that here, if you wanted to win,
well, that was
you could win.
very important. Everything with, I mean, the moments from the whole tournament before our game was very important,
Okay.
Because it happened like this. They organized a very important tournament, very strong tournament, organized by Clarín, the biggest newspaper in South America. And everything was very well organized. And Bobby, of course, was the biggest star. Everybody expected him to come and try to win the tournament the way it happened finally, you see. Yeah. Because finally Bobby won the tournament to a very big difference, something very big margin, something like 4 points or something like that, unbelievable, for such a strong field. Because every participant was grandmaster in this game, in this tournament, you see. Top grandmaster also, yes. So everybody came. We had to start the tournament. They changed the lights, you see, because Bobby asked them to do this, like in Reykjavik, the same.
He always had requests.
Yeah, the same like in Reykjavik, 2 years before Reykjavik. So they changed the lights, they changed the chairs, everything was, everything was new in the biggest theater of Buenos Aires on the Corrientes. Corrientes was the biggest avenue from
Buenos Aires.
And everybody waited, to see Bobby coming. You see. So Bobby didn't come the first days like this. So everybody didn't know what to do.
So the tournament started and he didn't...
No, they had to start the tournament. They had some telegrams with the Department of State, State Department of the United States. Everybody said that Bobby is coming. They spoke with Kissinger himself and so on. Everything was okay. Bobby sent some telegram, well, no problem, I am coming. But he wasn't there. Yeah? So he wasn't there, so they have to start the tournament. They had drawing of lots, so I have to play Bobby the third round. That was very happy for him. Finally, we'll see why.
Okay.
So the first 2 rounds, Bobby didn't arrive. So following the rules, they had to give forfeit. I mean, he lost by forfeit. I mean, he didn't play the games and his opponents won.
No show, right? No show.
Yeah. So
he lost to the first 2 games.
He lost 2 first games. Yeah.
Because
finally, okay, we don't give the names because the names of the opponents were very, very important. I mean, 2 important grandmasters.
We can find online.
Accepted, yeah. Yes. No, they accepted to win like this, which is not nice. So finally, they had to play the games. They lost, and the tournament continued. So, okay, we arrived on the third round, and Bobby's yet not there. I mean, he didn't come for the last.
So you pressed the clock?
Time. No. So they spoke with me and said, okay, what can we do? So I told them, I don't agree to win like this in these conditions. I don't win by forfeit against Bobby Fischer, no, against anybody else, but against Fischer, because you destroy your own tournament, of course. Everybody was expecting Fischer to be the big star and so on. And finally, it's not nice at all, even if he was a little bit guilty, that he didn't arrive. But we have to wait that he arrives and so on, and we play the game.
Like special to like.
I mean, he was the biggest.
He was the only one.
He was the attraction of the tournament.
Okay,
course,
okay.
Yeah. So they said, okay, but finally you have to, to start the game, and if you win by forfeit, you won, and Bobby is out of the tournament, by the rule, So I said, okay, we have to do something else. We give him another chance. I agree to start because it's the rule, the official rule. But if he doesn't come until the end and I win by time, like this,
yes.
I don't sign I don't accept to win like this.
Yes.
Well, Okay, they said that if I do such a thing, I lose also, I be double forfeit and so on. And finally we had a meeting and so they
You
agreed.
also lose if you
Yeah,
don't
they
sign.
said that, okay, you are in big danger to lose also because you don't accept the rule, the official rule of the International Federation. So, okay, we started our game 2 or 3 hours later. I mean, they started at 4 o'clock. We started our game at 7 or 8 in the evening, so to give him another chance to arrive, you see.
Okay.
So, okay, he didn't arrive. He didn't arrive. I had, he overstepped the time. Normally I won the game.
Yes.
And I refused to sign. I refused to sign. They had another meeting. They said, okay, finally, okay, because of this, Bobby, big attraction, and so on, we agreed to give him another chance until tomorrow. If he arrives until tomorrow,
Because nobody knew, maybe he will come.
Yeah,
Maybe
so we'll see
come.
what happens. If he doesn't come, he's out of the tournament for
Next
good,
day.
like
Yeah.
this. And you won, and we continue the tournament. Finally, somehow he arrived during the night, somehow 5 o'clock in the morning, something like that.
But normally the next day you had another opponent, another game, right?
Of course.
You had.
So they said, okay, you agree to play with Bobby anytime, tomorrow, after tomorrow, so in the morning, that doesn't matter what. So I said, okay, doesn't matter. I play him, 2 o'clock in the morning, I accept to play him, but only to give him a chance to come and play.
So you played him at 2
No, I play in the morning somewhere, tomorrow, after tomorrow, I don't know, but not normal.
Yes.
Normally you had to play him in the afternoon at 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock, you see. So, okay, he arrived. Everybody very happy and so on. Everybody has this problem, his mind, if he arrives or not. I mean, does Bobby play or does Bobby not play? So that was the problem. The whole tournament was, had the problem. Bobby, okay, he arrives. We play somewhere at 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock in the morning somehow. And everybody is so happy that Bobby arrived that I forgot, that's after so many years, I can tell you. And I took another piece in my hand. I wanted to play the Spanish again. We continue E4, E5, and so on, knight F3. And instead of taking the other knight, I took the knight from G8, and I had to play Russian, the Petroff.
Petroff open.
Yeah, it was the only time in my life that I played Petroff. I played very badly, and he won the game.
So mistake, because
I took by mistake the knight. I touched the piece. Okay, I played knight f6, and we continue at Petroff. He played an excellent game. He won. Okay, he took his revenge. And later on, everybody else told him that his tournament was possible because of his opponent who refused to win by default, and so in such a way by forfeit. And he had a very good impression about the gesture and so, and we became finally very good friends because of this. And finally, he won the tournament. En fanfare like this. I mean, 4 points difference. And
here in Argentina.
In Argentina, one of the biggest results of his life in this tournament in Argentina. To win such a tournament with such a big difference, of course, is fantastic. And it was this tournament that I told you, in some other occasion, that in the last round when he played Smyslov,
yes,
everybody else was waiting. You see the last moments of the tournament. Smyslov proposed draw, after 15 moves or something. He was former world champion. He refused, and they continued to play 5 hours. Bobby tried to win this game also. And everybody else was expecting to see what happens. So of course, he has the right to play, no? But the whole government was there. The governor of Argentina, everybody, all the generals and so on. And when they finished the game, he was applauded by 3,000 spectators, for half an hour. They never saw such a thing in their life. It was unbelievable, of course.
Yeah. Because he already was first. He was
first. I mean, he won the tournament 4 rounds before the end, or 5 rounds before. You can imagine 4 points difference in such a tournament. You see, the second player had 4 points less. Something like this.
And he still wanted to win.
He wanted to win every game.
And everyone had to wait 5 hours to.
Well, everybody.
To see a draw.
He's right. I mean, he can play, of course. Finally, Smyslov played very well, and finally he could make a draw, of course. Okay, so that was the revenge. Now we can see the game.
But how about the other 2 points he lost?
No, they had to replay. Yeah,
also.
they had to replay. Of course, they destroyed, the opponents, and he won by 2 beauty prizes and so against both of them. And finally, he won the tournament like this.
Yes, with many points ahead.
Many points ahead.
Let's see
So we'll see the Petroff. The Petroff line. That's the first and the last time in my life. Here, instead of knight c6, of course, I wanted to play knight c6, but I didn't sleep the night, and so I
took the other knight.
I took the other knight, so I had to play knight f6. Okay.
All right.
So I played knight f6. He took in e5. Okay. Theory again. d4. Bishop e7. Now here it's well known that the best move here is, instead of bishop e7, is already d5. After d5, white is a little bit better, but sometimes it's draw, sometimes white wins, sometimes black wins. It's complicated, but anyway, d5 is the best move. Bishop e7 gives already a small edge for white. It's a little bit passive, bishop e7. Bishop d3. Okay, not to say. Even here was okay to play d5. It was better to play d5 instead of knight f6. Okay, so knight f6, castle, h3, okay. If he played already castle, after bishop g4, more or less even the game, you see. So h3 is a very good move.
Okay.
h3, yeah. Castle, okay. Rook e8, c4. Now it's clear. White is already a little bit better after the opening, you see.
Why?
Because has more space and the initiative, you see. The pieces are better placed, so the bishop from d3 is already a little bit better than the bishop from e7, and he has the control over the central squares, and white has a small edge already, Okay, so knight c3, h6. You see, it's a little bit passive for black, The black played a little bit passive now. Doesn't have enough counterplay, let's say. But it's difficult to break through, It's very difficult to win for white at the first, if you look at the position. White is better, a little bit better, but how to win? The technique, the technique from Bobby will be fantastic afterwards. Excellent. Queen takes, bishop f4. You see, every piece is well placed, and white is a little bit better, and so on, All the time a little bit more, you see. Bishop f4, okay. The most natural moves. So bishop d7, queen d2. Now he takes control of the e file, you see. The rook comes to e1. It's clear. Okay, queen c8 tries to trade the bishop in f5. To come with the bishop in f5. Okay. So d5. Knight b4. Knight e4. Okay. Very good move. Now you have to take in e4, no? Yeah, bishop takes.
So this
now
way
you don't have. Now you have to take in e4, because if you take in d3, he takes in f6, and the structure is destroyed.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And now, because of the knight is attacked in b4, and therefore he could avoid immediately the exchange in f5.
Yes.
Now you have to protect the knight from a5. Now, knight a6, you try to come to c5. But now he has time to put the knight in d4. Now bishop f5 is not possible anymore. The advantage is clear. You have to play, like in our game, knight c5 is the best counterplay. Bishop goes back, no? Now you have to play a5, because otherwise comes b4, and clearly better for black. For white. And now, okay, rook e1. Now look at the position. The position is very clear. Is clearly better for white, and you don't have any good counterplay. The rook from a8 is bad. You don't have time to put the rook in e8. If you had time to come to the rook in e8, it was okay. The game is more or less even. But now the queen stays in c8, and white has clear edge. All the white pieces are on the king side, and has very good chances to try to play for a win. You see? Now it's very clear why and how. You see? Now he has to find the best way to.
But still looks equal.
No, it looks more or less equal, but it's not equal. It's better for white. Clearly better for white. Okay, queen d8. Black tries to come to f6. He his hope, to come to f6,
Yes.
and later on to have time to trade the rooks on the e file, you see, with rook e8. But okay, it's move by move. It's not enough. Rook e3.
With the idea
To come to g3, of course, to continue the attack. Yes.
To attack the king side.
Yeah. Now it's already very, very dangerous for black, you see, already. Yeah. Rook g3. Yeah. You see, you have to play king h8, because if you played queen f6, bishop takes h6 immediately wins, you see, in one move. Yeah. So king h8. But now the position is very bad already, you see, for black. I mean, all the white pieces are there, you see. Knight comes back to f3 and continues to have, very unpleasant threats against the black king, you see. He wants to come back somehow, bishop e3, d4, to control all the central squares and immediate attack against the king, you see. This is the knight f3, okay. So, king is7, queen e7, coming with the rook finally to e8, somehow, you see. But it's already too late, you see. Because now is immediate threat to take in h6 again.
Yes.
You can't come back with the king to g8 because you lose immediately after bishop takes h6. Now everything is clear. And I play queen f6, now it is very clear. He wins in any way now, you see. Even if you trade queens, but now the structure is destroyed and white wins, in any position, you see. So he takes, you see, the normal moves, white always plays the most normal moves, but has enough chances to win in any position, you see. Because the difference is clear. White pieces, black pieces. The white pieces are excellently placed, you see. Black has 2-3 holes like this in this position, and you lack counterplay. You don't have counterplay.
You have the same number
You
of
have
pieces.
the same number of pieces, but you are lost, you see. Positionally, the black is lost already, you see. You don't have enough counterplay. No counterplay at all, to say the truth here. Of course, if I had the same position against Bobby, I would win with white, of course, because the game is clear. You have enough chances to win.
He agreed to change the rooks also here.
Yes, because every endgame is lost for black, you see.
So you don't...
Yeah. If you take in e3, afterwards he's coming. He can even trade the bishop in f5.
But what is his plan? To attack the f6?
You'll see the plan, you see, in a few moves. You see.
Yes.
Very unpleasant here for black. The only counterplay, I mean, you try to have a small counterplay, but this is, of course, is too much. Takes. Oh, see, now you lose he tries to take you a pawn.
Yeah.
But you can't protect the pawn from h6 because king h7 is impossible to play.
Yes.
The structure is very bad, and you have 2-3 weaknesses everywhere. It's still possible to play a little bit because the bishop from f8...
This is one, this is...
Well, everything is weak in black's position, The structure is very bad, you see. Yeah. Okay, bishop d7, and you lost the pawn now. The last hope, you see. The last hope. And unfortunately for black, is mate in g8 now. If you allow, if you take in f4, is mate now. So, what can you play? You have to do now pawn up and 2 bishops and mate threats, So, of course, the game is completely over now. Knight e4, the only way to continue a little bit,
Yes.
Yeah. Check. And now, after f3, you lose a piece.
Yeah. But here...
If you go to g8, for instance,
yes,
he can, if he wants to, he wins another pawn. I mean, he takes in e4. Yeah, he takes in e4, you take with the rook, and now bishop takes f6 check, and the attack continues, The attack continues, and you can lose a third pawn now. King f8, for instance, now. King f8, bishop d8 if he wants to. Bishop d8, and you lose an up pawn. And okay. Well, the game was a real small demonstration, of technique from Bobby. Well, I played quite badly the game. It's no excuse, but I played quite badly. I told you, it was the first time and the last time in my life that I played the Petroff. The Petroff. And I made the mistake to play Petroff against him because I touched another piece. I told you, it's not a mistake, but it was because of the atmosphere, the whole thing, that Bobby's coming. He was playing.
That was his first game in the tournament?
The third. The first game that he
when he
played
he
with me.
countered you first.
Yes.
When he arrived.
The first or the second, I don't know. Maybe he was winning against somebody else, and the second game he played against me. In the next morning, something like this. But anyway, I could save this tournament. That was enough for a very long and very good friendship, very beautiful friendship between ourselves. Later on.
So here you resigned.
Well, of course, you lose a piece. You lose a piece, and the attack continues anyway. No, it was well deserved. I told you, it's no excuse. He played an excellent game.
Yes.
But I didn't play. The whole game is like, I wasn't there, you see.
Yeah.
I was not present.
All right.
But okay. The game was very good for him.
Was Fischer.
Finally he was very happy. He has his revenge, Everybody could see that...
you saved the tournament.
I saved the tournament.
At least you saved the tournament.
He became friends, and he could show the whole world that the big surprise from Havana was nothing more than a big surprise, And
but you still have equal score.
Of course. No. Of course.
All right.
Yes, and finally we had our last meeting the same year in 1970 at the Olympiad in Siegen in Germany. And it was also a very beautiful game, very important theoretically, and very unclear until the last moment. We'll see.
Okay, we'll see that game.
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Gheorghiu.
You're welcome.